Hey guys, Footy Manager TV here, and today I've got some new career mode information, new features, I guess you can call it as well, because Foothead, at least this is the news part of Foothead, they got to play a preview of it. As you see here, they say the time has finally arrived. We can now talk about the career mode in FIFA 14, as well as their in-depth preview. I won't go into that. I might leave a link for you to read it, because it's really, it's just their thoughts on it, not the features, and I thought I should just show you the features that's announced, or at least they noticed. So yeah, that was their chance, and this build, like the build of the career mode, it's preview, so I'm not sure exactly what it means. It says not all leagues were included in this build, so of course it's not the finalized version, but you get a good idea. So I did want to go through the features and yeah, see what it's all about. So I haven't even read through all of these yet. I've just had a quick glimpse at it and thought I should make a video, because there isn't too many on career mode on YouTube, videos as about the new features and that kind of thing. So most is on the Ultimate Team. That's a big focus this year, but I'm going to be doing Ultimate Team and career mode when it comes out on the early release on the 20th. It might be the 21st for me, or sometime at night on the 20th. I'm not really sure. Probably early in the morning, being in Australia, but yeah, I guess I'll just see. Yeah, it's not too far away now. Obviously, the demo coming soon, and web app, all that good stuff I'll be showing. But today is for the career mode and the fundamentals. The first one right here, it says a new disable the first summer transfer window option has been added to the career mode setup. This will allow you to maintain real world squads up until January. So basically, that means you have the option to make sure no one can do any transfers during the build up to the first season, the off season when you just start a career mode, and you can't do any transfers along with your opponents as well. So yeah, I reckon that's realistic, but to me, I'd still want to use the transfer window to sell players I wouldn't want and get players to replace them. But that's just my opinion. But that's good they added that. Very realistic. For a realism of the game, if you want to have the exact team and you play against the exact team as well in the first season, that's very realistic if you ask me. And next up, the overall player value has now been masked in career mode. You can only see the overall value of players in your own squad, meaning you'll have to scout players to find out how good they are. So not only you can't see the overall of the player because of this new scouting network thing, you can't see the value of their player as well. So that's a very good thing. It makes it more harder. Say in real life, if they're searching for a player, say whoever manager of a team, they want to search for a player, a new striker or something, they can't see, it doesn't have a number how good they are. Just for example, if Chelsea, they're trying to get Rooney, of course, yeah? They can't see that Rooney is an 88 overall, 87 or 86, whatever he's going to be, and they can't see as 90 finishing or whatever it is. They don't have numbers, the managers. They only can go by what they see in training and what the other coaches tell them and what they see in matches. So that's very realistic for me. You can't, in real life, they don't have numbers of how good a player is. So, but that's just me. I think that's really realistic. You can't see, you can't see that until they're actually in your team. So that's a good step of the way. With that, it makes it harder. That's the main thing, because career mode can be really easy, and I'm not sure how is that going to affect different websites that have potentials of players, younger players. I'm not sure if they'll be able to find that out or not, or maybe it's going to be shown on FIFA anyway. I'm not sure, but I guess we just have to. Time will tell. And next up, player growth now appears to be more subtle, with only minor gains and decreases seen after half a season year's play. That's very interesting. Because right now I didn't really notice the growth to be really big. So if it's smaller than it is, I'm not sure if that's going to be good enough, because I didn't really notice the players going up insanely heaps. Maybe for young players 3 or 4 a season at most. You see some rare times 5, but never really more than 5, and I think that's realistic. So I'm not sure about that. Maybe players will take long to grow, and I'm really not sure. Maybe they won't grow heaps. So I'm not really. Maybe young players won't reach really high overall, so I guess we just have to wait and see with that. And next up, player fatigue has maintained the match-by-match recovery changes from FIFA 13, but appears to be more harsh on in-game fatigue, with more players in the orange to red value. So obviously that means you're going to probably have to rotate your team more, and I guess that's good for players' morale, because you're playing more players. But yeah, I guess I'm not sure, because I don't like changing my team too much. I like having a good starting 11 and only play my substitute players when I really need them. But then it gives the chance to play young players more. So yeah, with that piece of information you see right there, the fatigue, the stamina is going to be, well, just by reading that, it's going to be more lower than it is currently. So leave your thoughts on that. Next up on the career mode user interface. A new user interface has revolutionized the way you navigate through career mode menus. That's it on that. 5 main navigation options now hold all the game information: central, squad, transfer, office, and season. Obviously, you've seen all these kind of things in the screenshots, so it's probably too much. It's not really new. But next up, most tiles. Is that tiles? Yeah, tiles in the career mode interface have sub options which you can access by flicking the right analog stick. Team formations can now be changed on the fly without going into team management. A tile on the squad screen is dedicated to this task. That's very good for me. Because, yeah, you like doing things without going into heaps of options. That's a good thing for me, like I said. The email screen now has a reading pan, and the game no longer stops advancement for trivial information. That's a good thing for me, because I remember in FIFA 13, it's still, like, every time you advance, it pops up when you have an email. So that's like the biggest thing out of this career mode user interface so far, and that's really good for me. So it doesn't pop up. You just want to, you know how they have the email notification thing. That's really good for me, because you can really check it whenever you want. You don't have to check it like forcefully, if that makes sense. I'm not sure how to explain it. Next up, player conversations now appear in their own tab within the email on the notification screen. But hopefully, I'm not sure if they haven't really released information on that yet. But for me, with the conversations, hopefully they improve it as well. Like, you can talk to your players more. Like, for me in Football Manager, it's very interactive with your player. You can actually go talk to them. They don't have to come to you first. And yeah, you can talk about heaps of different stuff. And hopefully they improve that slightly. But if not, I won't be too disappointed. It's not a bad thing. Hopefully the gameplay is all good, and that's the main thing for me. But next up, the transfer network, or the global transfer network. This is like the big new feature in career mode. So, there's the transfer network plus the scouting. So when you start a new career mode, you now have 3 GTN scouts already hired. Obviously, GTN being global transfer network. You can have a maximum of 6. So it's very good you start with 3, because in FIFA 13, if you were a lower team, you'll have to spend your transfer money to buy a scout, and obviously you want to buy players and that kind of thing. So that's a good thing you start with 3, and obviously if you're a big team, I wonder if you can like release them or something, because if they're not great and you're a big team, you can let them go, then you get some better ones. I'm not really sure. And then 6 scout instruction slots allow you to configure the types of players you want to search for. And that's the thing with this new thing. If this feature was in FIFA 13 career mode, it would be enjoyable. I like how it is. Some people say they don't like it, like a search on the forums, that kind of thing. And some people say it gets boring at times. But for me, it's just with FIFA 13 getting older. And some people say it's dying, but I don't think that's the right word to describe it. But yeah, this feature, it will make it longer lasting for me. That's why I wanted the scouting to be more in depth, especially when going for younger players. But yeah, moving on. And that's a very thing for me. You have scout instruction slots to allow you to configure the types. I think I read about this somewhere else, or someone talked about it, or it's like in Ultimate Team as well. You can search for different aspects, like you can see the types of players. So if you search like for attacking players or something, I'm not 100% sure, like the type of player. I think I read that somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure. Like the type, if they're like a box-to-box midfielder, you can search for that. If they're like a pacey striker, but I'm not really sure about the different types. So maybe you'll see that later. So next up, you first choose the position, age group. Oh, it says it here, of course. You first choose the position, age group, and contract length. That's a big one for me, contract length. Because this year, you could have, you could search for a player, or you couldn't search for them, but when you see a player that has less than a month, or not less than less than a year on their contract, especially in January, you could get them for cheaper, and that's something I really always wanted to find. So that makes it easier. You can just search their contract length and less than a year, and you can find those cheap players. It's probably a good thing for mid-table teams. Big teams, not so much, because you just want to get the best players available if you're a big team. But if you're like a lower Premier League team, that will be a very good thing to do. And you can relocate your scouts to new countries or recall them at any time. Of course, that's good. Yeah, obviously you can recall them already, I think, in FIFA 13, but you can actually change the countries whenever they're scouting, so that's a good thing. So if you decide you want to change, you're not getting good players or whatever, and that's really good. And yeah, that's one thing for me. I'm not sure I'll do it, because I'm going to be, like I've said, I'll be in Barcelona, and I'm going to go with a more realistic way. I'm going to try and scout Spanish players, because that's a lot of their teams, a lot of their players come through their youth academy, and they're Spanish, obviously, but they have a few other countries. Obviously, Messi being from Argentina, he came through, and actually they have a lot of Cameroonian young talent. One of them being Dongu, he's a very good prospect. Hopefully, has good potential in the game. He'll be a good player for me in the future, hopefully anyway, but I'll focus more when I'm actually in for Barcelona. But that's at least what I'm going to go with to be realistic. Scout the Spanish talent and just a couple other ones here and there. But having 6 scouts maximum will allow me to search different talents. So next up, a tile on the Central Career Mode homepage updates in real time as new players are scouted. That's fantastic. It's really, just by what I'm hearing, it feels like really quick and that kind of thing, so you can get through it. And yeah, I really like the sound of it so far. And it says once targets are identified, you can choose to remove them, keep them, or compile the more detailed scouting report. And apparently, I'm not sure if they'll say it more lower, but I read somewhere else, or I read somewhere, I can't really remember, that it's more decisive. Like other teams might get them, like make a move for them sooner than they did in FIFA 13. So you got to be decisive on your choices, and you have to take more risks. Like you might have to get them when you don't have a detailed report yet, because the other team might poach them. So that's on that. And here it says the detailed scouting reports will show you a selection of player stats and their potential transfer value. I really like that. You have to scout a player to see how much he's valued. I think that's very good. Like you send your scout out there to see how much the player is valued. That's really realistic to me. And it says the more times you scout a player, the more accurate the data becomes. That's a very good thing. The overall of a player is hidden as are the showing great potential, and that has something special traits until the scout. Again, that's very good to show that. You shouldn't be able to know that straight away with just searching the player. So that's very good for me. It keeps it more realistic, and it'll be more harder. And for me making videos, it'll be like a viewing point, at least in my opinion, so I could show you the scout reports and all that kind of thing. And next up, there's youth scouting. I'm not sure if this must be different to the general scouting, youth scouting, but we'll see what it says. It says youth scouting is still in career mode and is completely separate to the global transfer network. That's really good for me. So is that different? These GTN scouts, global transfer network scouts, they don't scout the younger players. You still have the same ones, I guess. But I'm not 100% sure. It says youth scouting is still in career mode and is completely separate to that. So I'm not 100% sure yet, but leave in your comments if... Yeah, like, do you still only have 3 of those, or can you have 6 of them as well? I'm not really sure. It says youth scouting now costs money too. But to me, doesn't it cost money already? I'm pretty sure when you go to a country and you have to pay. I'm pretty sure. So I'm not sure if that's just me. I'm getting mixed with something, but I'm pretty sure you have to pay already. But anyway, we'll move on to the transfers now. A new reject all and disallow future offers option has been added to the transfer offer screen. This will prevent clubs from persistently offering for players you do not want to sell at any price. That's very good for me. I watch a couple on YouTube, like that people, they didn't want to sell the player, of course, so they just put a high one, and offer comes from Manchester City and they accept. But I'll just read it again. So it says reject all or disallow future offers. That's good, but I'll just see how it works in game. Next up, it says the new transfer hub shows all the latest transfer rumors, news, and biggest deals all on one screen. For me, the biggest thing out of that is the transfer rumors. Like you can see if you can kind of do like a Tottenham or Tottenham or a Chelsea. You see like Liverpool try and make a move for a player, then they just come in to swoop them. Very good thing. And transfer deadline day now has a club by club breakdown for the league you're in. This allows you to see all the ins and outs of the clubs in your league. That's very good. It's really good they're adding a lot of information so you can see what's going on. That's a big thing for me. And next, the audio. For me, I don't really care about the audio because, it's not a big thing for me, but we'll just see. Because, with making videos, a lot of the time I just turn the commentary off, but maybe I'll just have to listen to it. But here it says Jeff Stelling. Stelling is now the stadium and pre-match announcer for FIFA 14. The commentary team now directly reference previous match results. Example, a great 3-1 win against Swansea last week. The commentary team will also discuss current transfer rumors and in more detail. So they'll obviously be talking about it more. And I'm not sure if I should add that, like in my videos. Leave comments if you like to see that. Like I'll put the commentary of that, and you hear what they have to say. Leave in your comments if you want that. And that's pretty much it for the actual manager career mode and manager mode. So leave your thoughts on it. Obviously there's a screenshot, but I'm sure you've seen that already. But for me, it looks good. You see the office and it has the notifications, and you can check that out anytime you like. So it looks pretty good to me. Leave your thoughts on all the different features, and if any more information comes out, but I doubt it is, I think this is pretty much it, but maybe there'll be more from other people and we'll see what can happen with that. But for now, that is it. Hopefully you enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys next time.